Hi everyone and welcome to Stamp with Angela. I'm Angela Palmer and I'm looking forward to sharing some crafting and stamping with you today. Thanks for joining me. I appreciate you being here, whether you're watching this live or watching the recording later on Facebook or even watching this on YouTube. So I appreciate you being here and I hope I give you some ideas to inspire you with your crafting and stamping as well. So this week's been a busy week. It's school holidays and I had my coffee and cards class on Tuesday. So that's always the first Tuesday of the month at Vero Cafe in Unsworth Heights on the North Shore. So I've got many regulars that come to that, which is great. And it's always nice to see some new people come along as well. And then I've been also starting it on a Thursday. So that was this morning. And I had a few people come along to that one too. So that was nice to be able to, just fun to be able to craft together. Nice time to catch up. And I think people look forward to it. And it's lots of fun. So I know some of you live a little bit further away. So unfortunately you can't come to my coffee and cards. But I hope you enjoy your crafting, whether you do it yourself or with others. But it's lots of fun and it's just a chance to be able to be creative, make something. And even if you can't craft with others, you can share your creations as you send your cards to others for birthdays or thinking of you or whatever, which is always a nice thing to do. So the card I'm going to show you today was one of the cards that we did at Coffee and Cards. And it uses the Timeless Charms stamp set. And I'll show you, it's just a simple stamping, but it's a fun sort of technique and way of using the stamps, and hopefully you can create a similar card yourself. You could come up with your own colors. You might have different set of stamps that you could use, but similar. So hopefully it's an idea and a technique that you can try and try something new yourself too. So I hope you enjoy it. A few things to share with you today. We've got things coming up with World Card Making Day this Saturday, and also Stampin' Up's offer this month too. So lots of things happening. So we're going to craft together. Well, I will craft. I'll show you what I'm doing and you can have a look and see, and then maybe you will get to make something similar to this at some stage as well. So thanks for joining with me today. I appreciate you being here. I'm going to turn my camera around now to my table and let's get stamping. All right, so these are the cards that I made, and this is the set that I'm using, the Timeless Charms. And there are dies to go with this as well, but I don't have them handy. But there's lots of great stamps and things that you can use. And you'll find this not in the catalogues, but online as part of the online exclusives. But it's a great set to use. You can create a sort of watercolor background if you like there. And you'll see that I've used some of these stamps. So we've got sort of a flowery one and then sort of different leaf ones here that I've used to create the background and things. All right, so let's get started and make this card. So you'll see I've made some in the portrait and some the landscape, so you can kind of choose which way you like to do it. So I've used for my card base very vanilla. And then I've used some Crumb Cake, and then a few different colours for stamping. Now I've actually used the note cards. So for my coffee and cards, I often use the note cards. So they're a little bit smaller than your standard size card. And they come in packs of 20 where you get the pre-scored note card and then the matching envelope as well, which makes it, a great way of doing some quick, easy cards and things. And they're great to give people, and you can choose what sort of sentiments and things you like. Welcome, Elaine. It's great to have you here. Yeah, your first time. Well, appreciate you joining us. So remember, this Facebook Live is a weekly thing on Thursdays at 1:30. So I know not everyone can join live, but if not, you can always watch the recording, and I do share it on YouTube as well. Sometimes I've got a bit of catching up to do, but we'll get there eventually. All right, so here are these cards and we will make them. I'll actually show you how to do both the landscape and the portrait. It's the same kind of technique, but then you'll get to watch it twice and you can just see kind of the difference with that. So I've got my card base, and I always like to use my bone folder to crease those because then it gives a nice crisp crease and makes it all nice and folded. And then I've got my crumb cake, which is a little bit smaller, which is 8.5 by 12.3. And then I've got another piece of very vanilla, which I'm going to stamp on. And that is 8 centimeters by 11.8. And often for my coffee and cards, they're kind of the measurements that I use. So this is what we're going to work on at the moment. And then I've obviously got the piece that's going across, and that's 2 centimeters wide plus the width of the card. And then I've got crumb cake, which is slightly wider, so it's got a bit of a border. And that's 2.5 centimeters. So we're actually going to put this piece on first. Let's do this one, although I'm going to do it as a thank you. And it's quite useful to use a pencil. So I'm just going to put this on. You can do exactly in the middle or slightly to the top or whatever. And I'm just going to draw a rough pencil line just to give me some idea of it. The stamps need to be above that, below that, that kind of thing. And then obviously when I do my layer later, it's going to be covered up, so you're not going to see it. All right, now with this card here, there's not as much room to stamp as there is on this. So I'm basically going to do pretty much 1, maybe 2 at the most, but, you know, not too much of stamping because we don't want it to be too busy. So the colors I'm using, so I'm starting off with Petal Pink. So Petal Pink, Pumpkin Pie, Soft Sea Foam, and Old Olive. So now I need to point out this is not an original idea. I saw this online. I think she did standard size cards and I adapted it for note cards. I'm not sure where they're from, but Barb Bicknell, I think she's from overseas, created this or inspired me, and then I came up with this. So here we go. So let's do one like that. So I need to make sure it's kind of going a little bit below the line, but above as well. And then I need to turn it around this way and then stamp underneath. So that's kind of going from both directions, if that makes sense. So I'll just do one of each at the moment. I can always add more, but it's a bit hard to take away. Then I'm going to get out my pumpkin pie and I'm going to do that little flowery one. So I don't kind of want it floating, so I do want to sort of connect it close to that pencil line. Then I'm going to come in with some soft sea foam and I'm going to do that more longer, fuller leaf. So like so, maybe like that, and I might actually go slightly over the edge, so let me get a scrap piece of paper in case I do, and just sort of like that kind of thing. And then the last one I'm using Old Olive, and it's kind of more going on the top. So we'll sort of go like that. I think it's being well used and not quite sinky. Oh, that's better. We might just sort of have one coming on the side, maybe over there. So before I stamp any more, I'm going to see how it looks when I've got my little bit across the card. Now I think I just got ink on my hands, which is not good because I don't want to get it in the wrong places. So I'm just going to put that there. Do I feel that is enough? That's what I'm kind of looking at. Maybe just something a little bit behind there. So I'll just come in with another one of those there. Okay. So that looks pretty good. So a bit of space top and bottom. That looks a bit inky, so we'll do this side. Now this stamp has got Happy Birthday, My Dear. I don't really want the My Dear so much. So I have actually trimmed it off. And where is it? I don't do that very often, but if I want to, I could. Is it in here? Where is it? Oh, it must be on a block. I could, add it back in, but I'm just going to want the Happy Birthday. And so I'm going to stamp that. So just a couple of pointers. I share about this in my coffee and cards, but I sometimes forget to mention here. When you stamp, you sort of want to go down and then up. If you go down and you push too hard, you'll end up with the lines around it, which looks messy. And if you push down too hard and you rock, you'll also get the lines. Those lines are the edge of the stamp. So you want to, when you're stamping, to try and keep it as kind of even without rocking it, and down, hold, and up. And that gives you a nice clean image. So let's see if I can do that now on here. So that's my little tip. So down, hold, up. Don't push too hard, otherwise it gets very squishy like that. Nice. All right, so then I'm going to put this together with my glue. I've got lots of open ink pads here, so I don't want to put my elbow in it or something. All right, so let's go with this. And the glue is great because then I've got a moment to be able to, adjust it slightly. And then we're going to put that onto the card. And I'll stamp the other one and then I'll put them together, but just so you can see what it looks like if it's that way. Now, if we're going across the other way, we're going to do the same thing. We'll get our long piece and I'll do my pencil marks. It will look quite a bit busier. Oh, this needs trimming slightly, but that's okay. So about there. Whoops, I don't think that's straight. It's just a rough, moving. But just gives us a kind of rough, but slightly higher, but that's okay. So because it's wider, I will need to stamp a couple of times. So let's go back to the same order. So we're starting off with our Petal Pink, which does actually look quite sort of orangey, but that's okay. And it's going to be, I'm going to put a lot more in the middle, so it's going to look very busy in the middle, but that's okay. And remember, for the bottom, we've got to turn it round, do it like that. Maybe I'll put my little scrap piece underneath in case I go off the side a little bit. Okay, so that's my Petal Pink. I might actually do the order different this time, and I'm going to go with my soft sea foam and do that one next. Is this soft sea foam? Yes, it is. Like so. And maybe like that. So we can see how that's looking when we put kind of that there to give us an idea. Yep. Obviously we want it. You could leave it like that, but we want to add a bit more. Now I will go through with my pumpkin pie and this flowery one. So it's, quite a bit different when you're doing a wider image, or, wider card rather. Let's have another look at how that is going. Is that 2 centimeters? No, that one's slightly narrower. So I need to find one that is the right. I've got my bag of supplies left over from coffee and cards. There we go. So let's see how, and I think this one is actually too wide. It's more than 2.5, so I will trim that. Yeah, it is a little bit wider. Okay, so putting the two together. Yeah, okay, so we haven't finished yet. Gonna add a little bit more soft sea foam down here. And then go in with our lucky last old olive. But you can see it's very busy in the middle, and that would look kind of funny if it stayed like that, but it's not going to, so that's kind of good. All right, let's see how that looks now. Very busy. See, there you go. Maybe something there. So we might just come in with that. All right, I'm pretty happy with that. Nice. So with my sentiment, I'm going to teach you another little trick. I am just doing the thanks. So if you have a look at this one here, thanks for all you do. You might want the whole thing, and that's great. I don't want to cut the stamp up. So this is another thing that you can do. I may have shared before, I'm not sure, but in case I haven't, what I'm going to do is get a piece of tape. You can use sellotape, whatever you've got. In this case, I'm going to use washi tape because it's what I could grab quickly. And I'm going to put my tape over the bottom words. So I can see the thanks, but the other part of the stamp is not being shown. Then what I'm going to do is ink it up. Now it doesn't matter if it's on the washi tape, because now I'm going to remove that. And there is no ink on that bottom part. And I'm going to stamp my thanks. Now I'm going to stamp it slightly to the side. Brilliant, see? And it's only the thanks. So you can use parts of sentiments. You can also use a marker and colour it. It's quite close there, which makes it hard. So for this particular stamp, I really like using the tape. And then, like I did on this one, I'm going to stamp a little pattern, so it just makes it a little bit more interesting. I'm going to go this way this time, like so. And then I'm going to put that together. I do need to trim it slightly, but that's okay. Did I glue that one? I did. Okay, so let's glue this one together. So always put your glue on the smaller piece, not too much because we don't want it squirting out the sides. Whoops. Glue it down. All right, I'm going to put it, not quite go to the edge because it's a bit long, and I'll just trim it once it's stuck down. But that looks very messy, doesn't it? But that's okay because we're going to trim it. So, like so. And you can't see my pencil marks. There we go. Find my paper snips and trim that off. Well, I'm going through 2 layers, quite thick. There we go. Looks like I've got maybe a little bit of ink on my hands, as one does. Dear idea. Okay, so then I am going to put each of those onto a crumb cake base. And yeah, you might like to try different colours. I admit I do not use orange that much. So this is a different colour combination for me, but good to try new things. I love Old Olive. I use that quite a bit. But yeah, not orange a lot. So this is something a little bit different. And the Petal Pink is kind of a orangey colour, sort of more than the traditional pinks. There we go. Oh, my happy birthday looks slightly wonky. Does it? Yeah, to me it does. So what I would do is if you heat it with a heat tool, you can lift it up, and I might kind of centre it a bit, but for now, we'll just keep going. And then I'm going to adhere that onto my card. And of course, you can stamp your envelope as well, tie it all together. So we'll do that in a minute. So put that one on there. And I've just got ink on my hands again from one of the open ink pads. I should probably close them all up very soon. So we are going to fold this, use my bone folder. There is a mark there, but that's okay. We're going to cover it up. Okay, and I'll show you how to add some bling as well. Probably should have creased that a bit more before I stuck it down, but there we go. All right, so in the middle are today's cards. Okay. Now you'll see this one over here, I've added some bling. Now I didn't have sort of many neutrally colours to use, so I'm just going to close all my ink pads before I get ink where I don't want ink. I've got 5 ink pads open here, so good to keep them closed. So if you're not sure how to close them, for these ones you just pull it, slide it, she says, and flip it over. One more time. There we go. All right, less mess. So what I did was I wanted sort of the colours that coordinate with the card. So I got some rhinestones and I used a blend to colour them. And I'm using the Old Olive because I don't have all the blends, but I do have... I did try Crumb Cake, but it didn't really show up that much, but the Old Olive does. So while they're still on here, very carefully colour them. You do have to be quite careful with the tip end because it wears quite quickly. But colouring, I do use that thinner end a lot more. All right, then we are going to lift them up and I'll put them on the happy birthday card, I think. So you do need to use blends, not markers, because blends are a permanent ink. So we'll do 2 of those and 1. So that way you can get, as long as you've got the blends, you can choose a colour that works with your project by colouring them in. Okay, so there we are. So you can make this card in a portrait style or a landscape style. What would be cool to do would be to try some different colours. So yeah, check out what stamp you've got that's kind of leaves and flowers and not too big, where you could try something like this. Like I said, this is a note card. You maybe have slightly bigger stamps. Maybe you could try it with a standard size card as well. But I hope that gives you some idea. The big thing to remember is draw your lines, and the top is up, and then for the bottom half, flip it around. You can't see my hands in the way. Flip it around so it's coming down. But, you know, you can do it how you like. And hopefully you liked the tip of, you know, using tape to cover up some of the words to stamp. Or if you want to, you can cut them off as well. Like I say, that's a very rare thing for me. I don't usually do that, but, you know, one can. Okie dokie. So a couple of other things to let you know about. Okay, so this weekend on Saturday, the 7th of October, we have Card World Making Day. So, or World Card Making Day. So this is a great way to remember and celebrate card making, which those of us involved with Stampin' Up and things love cards. So it's good to be able to share with others. So Stampin' Up are putting on a free event, a virtual event. So it doesn't matter where you are, you can take part. So it'll be New Zealand time, 4 p.m. in the afternoon for about 3 hours, so like 4 till 7. There are 3 particular sets, stamps and dies that they are using, or stamps and punches, that you could use if you have them, but you might be able to substitute it for something different. And you don't have to use what they've got. And there's also some information up about the card colours and sizes to make and pre-cut beforehand. But you may like to just watch the first time, see what they do, and then think what you've got and, you know, make it up afterwards. If you can't participate live, that's okay. It will be recorded, but I would register so that you get access to the recordings, and the recordings will be around for the end of the month. So you've got a couple of weeks to be able to watch them. So I'll take part. Now I've also opened or created a Facebook group for my customers. So if you, or those in my team, so if you would like to join up for that, just trying to think what the link is, I'll have to share it. You can ask to join, and I just thought that I'll share information about the event on the day. Maybe we can share some photos of what we're making, that kind of thing, what we're doing. Or, you know, even if you make them later, you can check out the page too and ask any questions, or, you know, share what you're doing. It'd be a nice way to inspire each other, because it's hard to get together in person, especially if we're all around New Zealand, but it's a way that we connect. And I think one of the important things about Stampin' Up and card making and things is that connection with people. I've met, you know, so many people, made new friends, and I enjoy, you know, teaching customers, meeting other demos, and being able to have that connection. Now, not everyone lives locally. Got lots of customers around New Zealand, but we can still connect with each other, you know, virtually, which is great. So yeah, so I want to encourage you to consider that. It's free. There is no cost. So, you know, might as well take part and learn some new things. It should be lots and lots of fun. The other thing I want to let you know about is Stampin' Up special for October. So this year, Stampin' Up has been going for 35 years. It started in America 35 years ago. Then it's moved to other countries, Canada and England and all that. And it came to New Zealand and Australia. Now I'm trying to remember. I think 2006 for Australia, 2007 for New Zealand, or maybe 2008. I can't quite remember, but about 16 years here. But it's been going for 35 years since the company started. And I'm sure when they started in their sort of house or garage, they weren't expecting it to grow this much. But the love of crafting and sharing with others, making a difference, inspire, create, share, is what they're wanting to do. 35 years later, it's still here. So for this month, if you've ever wondered about becoming a demonstrator, here is an amazing offer for you. So you can either get 35% off the kit, so you pay a cheaper price to sign up, or you get 35% more product. I'm happy to talk to you about this more, to see what circumstance works for you if you're thinking of joining up. So the starter kit is usually $189. So if you go for the 35% off offer, it'll only cost you $122.85, and there's free shipping, and you get to spend $285 worth of product. That is a lot of product. You can choose what you want. My recommendation would be get, a stamp set, some ink, some cardstock, a variety of things so you can get stamping. If you'd like more, you can pay the usual $189 for the starter kit, and you get 35% more product. So you get to spend nearly $100 more, another $100, $384.75 worth of product. Imagine what you could choose with that. So that is a awesome opportunity. So if you go to stampwithangela.co.nz and /join, you'll find some more information about it. And wait, there's more. So if you join up this month, you will also get a bonus, and you get to be part of Stampin' Up's virtual on-stage demonstrator event, which is in November. So, and that's valued at $138. So once a year, obviously not during COVID, but usually we would have an in-person event, which is lots of fun, getting together with demonstrators. You get to see new product, you get to have a play, try things, be inspired with your stamping and things. This year it's in November. It's going to be virtual because only a few months later they're changing when it is. It's always been in November, and it's going to go to March. It'll be in Australia, so they didn't want two events close to each other that involve traveling. So it's going to be virtual this time, which is great because sometimes people can't, attend or travel to them, but you can still take part virtually. And this will really just inspire you, encourage you, give lots of ideas as a demonstrator. Now, obviously, I do a lot. I do Facebook Lives, I do classes, I do paper shares, and you might think, oh, I don't want to do that. That's way too much. I just want to stamp. That's totally fine. The good thing about being a demonstrator is you can make it suit you. You don't have to do lots of classes and all sorts of things like that if you don't want to. Just stamp for yourself or get together with friends maybe once a month or every couple of months. You can buy it yourself if you want and get the discount. Or you might get orders from others, which help you. If you want to make it a business, if you want to do classes, go for it too. You can do that, but you don't have to. So this is an amazing opportunity. I've got team members from all over New Zealand, from up north, the way down in Invercargill, a few in Invercargill actually. And it's hard, obviously, to meet in person, but I have met my person, Linda, from Invercargill, which was great when she visited this way. But we can meet virtually, and there's so much these days with technology where I can support my team. So I will be here to help you and encourage you. Obviously, you have to meet the minimums each quarter, every 3 months, and I can explain more about that. But it's lots of fun, and I'd love to have you join my team. It'd be great to be able to share crafting with others. And it's not just, obviously a big part is the discount, but it's the people, the experience, just that connection with others that make it so worthwhile and enjoyable, and that's why we keep doing what we're doing. So any questions, let me know. So lots today. So I talked about World Card Making Day, which is on Saturday. So if you want to know more about that, message me or check out the comments later. If you're interested in joining and you want to know more, ask questions. You might decide it's not for you, that's fine, but just ask away in case it is. So remember those two things. And to finish off, here are the cards that we made today. So I think it's, which two did I make? I think it was these two that I made. So here are the cards that I made today using the Timeless Charms stamp set and my vanilla note cards, along with a few different colours. So I hope you've learnt some new things, given a new kind of stamping technique for you to try to make your cards. Something just a little bit different, but not too hard to do, and you can see what stamps and things you've got to give this a try. So thank you for joining me today. Helen, you're interested in the card making day, I will get in touch and send you some information. And anyone else, just let me know if you want to know as well. It is on my blog. If you go to stampwithangela.co.nz, there is a page there for about World Card Making Day, so you can check that out, but I'll try and get in touch with you as well. Right, so thank you for your time today. Thank you for being here. Remember, each Thursday, 1:30 p.m. is my Facebook Live, where I share some card ideas with you, inspire you. If you've got any questions, please ask. Sometimes I'm thinking, oh, what should I share? What should I do? But maybe you've got a question with your stamping and card making that you'd like to know, and that might help me know what to share with you. So thank you for your time. Remember, I'm here to help you, inspire you, and I hope you enjoy your stamping and card making. Thanks for your time today, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. If you're watching this on YouTube, please subscribe to my channel, and if you enjoyed the video, like it, and you'll be kept up to date with other videos and things too. And if you're on Facebook, I'm here each Thursday. Thanks so much. Enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll see you again soon. Bye.